I believe that when you die, that's it, nothing afterwards.
Okay, that's a belief, I guess, that like the belief that I have, which is that I believe when you die, you go into the presence of God if you're a believer, and you end up being raised from the dead in the future with a resurrection body on a new earth. I believe that. You believe there's nothing after death. I guess neither of those beliefs are things that we're going to be able to run a scientific experiment on and find out who's right now. The question is, how do you know? How do you know that you go into the ground and that's it? How do I know that after death there is a resurrection awaiting us and a new world to be made? How would you know that kind of thing? And I think you'd have to admit that no human being's testimony about those things is going to be decisive, because no human being has died and then risen again to come back and tell us about it, except one. And so I'd stake my belief, and I would encourage you to stake yours on somebody who has actually been to death and come out the other side, who can tell us what kind of world it is out there. I think that's what you'd want to find out, isn't it? So I think to have a conviction, I think there's nothing else, that's fine. That's an acceptable belief, but I don't think it's grounded on any evidence that you'd have, any more than perhaps the belief that you get reincarnated would be grounded in evidence. What you want to do is find, is there anybody out there of whom it has been reliably attested this person died and rose again and is now able to tell us what there is on the other side of the grave? And of course the answer the Christian would give is yes, there is. There's huge ancient evidence of the resurrection of Jesus, and as a result I would go to him straight away and say, is this true? As I looked into it a lot, I'm a very kind of academic type. I wanted to study the resurrection of Jesus in detail historically. And when I concluded that is what happened, it completely changed the way I thought about what happens when you die. Because I thought, this guy's got something to say, and he looks like he might know what he's talking about in a way that perhaps other people who are speculating about it here today might not. So that's what I'd encourage you to do, is say that's a legitimate belief, and I think mine's a legitimate belief. The question is it grounded in any evidence? And I would suggest that looking into the resurrection of Jesus is a great way of finding out whether there's perhaps any more to it than that.